Hello Scorpio, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Scorpio for the month of June. Now Scorpio, do keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now I will not send you a message on any platform. I do not do personal readings, so do not get scammed. Let's go ahead and get into this reading here, Scorpio. I am using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, as well as the Psychic Tarot and the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below. I also ask that you hit the like button and subscribe, as it really does help with the growth of this channel, but more importantly, hitting the like button does ensure that other people who may need to see this video have an opportunity to see the video. All right, let's go ahead and take 3 of these Psychic Tarot cards, and then we'll also take 3 Kipper cards here. Let me make sure we're all set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it. All right, Scorpio. It's good enough to me. Energy on the bottom. You have the Queen of Swords, and do I see the King of Swords here? No, I see the, I think, King of Cups. Okay, so we do have King Queen energy, but at any rate, this Queen of Swords is really an energy of, Queen of Swords is really about you having like a serious focus on something. This is about focus in your life and putting your efforts and energy into a singular goal. With that, the Queen of Swords can produce great work in one's life, and so some of you may be doing that. Now, the Queen of Swords can also represent, independence in one's life, and like separating from whatever is sort of nagging you or holding on to you or has a hold of you or has a grasp on you, like really letting go of that and using the sword from the Queen of Swords to cut that attachment, to let go of that. The Queen of Swords is somebody not only has focus, but many people go to the Queen of Swords for wise counsel because they are highly intelligent, but they're like a knowledge bearer. They have a lot of knowledge, and bearer of knowledge is what I was trying to say there. And so I do feel like either you're leaning on somebody who may be a knowledge bearer, or you may also be providing that for somebody as well. But let's go ahead and dive into this a little bit. Now, I do have to say right away in the middle, we do have some separation energy here, and because we have this Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords doesn't always have to be single, but they may be single. They may prefer to be single. And if the Queen of Swords is in a relationship, they need their independence. Like they need their space. They need their own room. They need they need time to themselves. And that's okay too. It's great to set those boundaries. And so it's really a major energy of independence. And so you do have this Queen of Swords here with it in the current situation, which obviously, looking at this card, the 3 swords going through the heart, this can represent heartbreak. It can represent separation or severance. Now, what I will say to you is if your relationship is going well, then that's just not your message. What this could mean is you needing to separate from something challenging in your life if your relationship's going well. It can be anything that you are separating from, but there is a separation energy here with the Queen of Swords and the 3 of Swords, but also because we have this 2 of Swords energy as well here. And, I wonder if maybe some of you are separating from a friend or a sibling, Scorpio. I do wonder if maybe some of you are doing that. The reason being is we have this Queen of Pentacles here, so we have these queens in the middle. I don't know why I was just getting that energy for some of you here. I heard the word sister in my mind, so take that as you will. It doesn't mean that that's something that you're going to absolutely be dealing with, but it did come into my mind as I was reading that. We have this Queen of Pentacles in the problem position. Now the thing is, the Queen of Pentacles, they achieve a high social status in their life, but they're really also somebody who's extremely practical. They're down to earth. And, you know, as this is in the problem position, it may mean that you're just quite literally dealing with an earth sign that is challenging you, a friend, family member, whatever the case may be. You may be like distancing from that person or that situation here. On the other end of it, frivolous spending could also be something that is showing up because it's in the problem position. By default, the Queen of Pentacles is the opposite. They save their money, they spend wisely, they invest, but this is in the problem position, and it's with the Three of Swords. And so the Three of Swords can indicate loss in some ways. And so I would just pay attention to that in this month if it's something that you feel like is going on in your life. In the past, you have the moon. You've had this feeling. I know this is a bit of a negative energy. It does get better, I do have to say. The future is extremely bright for you, and you do have some very, very good energies here. You've had a little bit of suspicion here in the past. There's something that maybe just has not been as it appears, something that maybe felt a little off here with this moon energy. In this case it's a lobster, but the crab here, you know, this indicates something that is coming forward from the depths of your soul or from the ocean, something that is deep, dark, and hidden. And it's almost like that came to light. Now the thing is, you may also be realizing that this situation has come and gone because the moon is a temporary situation. Just like the phases of the moon, the moon moves very quickly through the chart, and so it is possible that whatever it is that you've been dealing with here, you're going to get right up and you're going to keep moving forward from that situation. It is a little bit of a card of just deception, something being a little bit murky or unclear. Like I said, there may have just been a little bit of, like, something may have happened between these two queens here, okay? That maybe was just like, I wasn't expecting that, or that was not what I was expecting this person to say, or so forth and so on. Especially because in the future here, you have this Two of Swords, which is potentially about challenging communication. I always like to say that the Two of Swords can represent a war of words being had between two people. These swords can represent emotional daggers being thrown between two people. And so it's like that could have happened, but it's also maybe a card of injustice that comes forward. It's a card of mental interference, of something that is just maybe even just interference or mental conflict in one's life, needing to remove the blindfold to get clear. There's a little bit of energy there's a foggy energy here with the moon and the Two of Swords blindfold symbolism. And so, you know what? Maybe the solution here is for you to have a healing conversation. You know, if you're dealing with a challenge between you and your person here, or your friend or your family member or whatever, maybe is there a way that you can talk it out? Like, is there a way that you can maybe get clear on your communication and their communication here at this time? So yeah, that's what's kind of coming forward. Now, on your thoughts, on your conscious awareness, or on your mind here, you have the you have the Emperor. So I did notice here, so you have the Emperor and the Empress. So that's like a power couple vibe right there. It's almost like maybe there's something else happening. I almost feel like if you're in a relationship, I don't even know if it's your relationship that you're separating from. My intuition feels like this is a family member or a friend, or it doesn't feel like it's a romantic relationship. In fact, it's almost like maybe your romantic relationship strengthens as a result of whatever's going on between these two queens. And remember, I do not attach gender to my cards, and so this can be anybody. This can be just a feminine energy. But you know, this Emperor is the father archetype, okay? The Empress is the mother archetype, so family, mother, father. It could be something going on in the family here. The Emperor by default is a very good card, and it's a very good omen to find in a business reading. This doesn't feel like a business reading. It feels like a communication or like life reading here, where there's just like something going on in this month between you and another person, and for whatever reason that's important. I don't know why, but for whatever reason it's coming forward as important. It also feels like family energy is very important at this time. Not only because we have the King and the Queen, the mother and the father archetype, but in the lower row here, you have, which is in the subconscious, the hidden, or what you can't see, you have this 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is family energy. You can see the good family here, or the family here celebrating and enjoying themselves. the Ten of Cups is like having all 10 cups overflowing. It's reaching the last cup at the end of the rainbow. And this is a card of total happiness, of windfall, of windfalls of happiness, of euphoria, of bliss, of good energy and good times. It is a card of abundance as well. And so it's like this is available. You can't see it though. You can't see it because it's in this lower row. It's in this subconscious spot. And so it's like there is something here with these 3 cards in particular, the Moon, the Two of Swords, and now the Ten of Cups in the subconscious. There is something here that you are not seeing. And you know what this month might look like for you is discovering why. Why can't I see? And you may be beginning to see here what's going on. You may be learning a truth about a person that is maybe not fun, but ultimately takes you somewhere new. So in the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have the Knight of Cups. Like I said, love situation, not really concerned here for some of you. I think for most of you, actually. Knight of Cups is like, it's like a really happy event happening in your life. And in fact, what may happen here is, you may have this healing conversation. You may figure out the situation that is troubling you or that you are going through at this time. And the Knight of Cups is definitely a symbolism of is definitely a symbol of hope, of happiness. It is a very good card for relationships. Again, I don't know if I'm talking to singles here. I feel like I'm talking to more people who are maybe partnered already, and it is almost like that is strengthening, like that connection is maybe strengthening in this month. And again, I get a weird energy here between these 2 queens, and it's almost like it's because you care. I know this is like deep, but Scorpio, you like things that are deep, right? You are the deepest sign. And it's like you care about this person or you care about this situation, whether they're a family member or a friend or whatever. Remember, I told you at the beginning of this reading, I heard the word sister. That came into my mind. It's like something's going on there. And it's almost like on the relationship front, the romantic relationship front, that's strengthening. So it is interesting. I think there's a separation, there's a distancing. Maybe you're distancing from your family, which happens. And so, yeah, so in the external influence, you have the Judgment card. The Judgment card is really a big energy of, I did have to say, I feel like you're separating by family. I mean like the family you were born into. Like if you have, if you're partnered and you have children with a partner, I'm not saying you're distancing from your immediate family. I'm saying your other family. Okay, and then so you have this Judgment energy here in the external influence. So this Judgment card is really an energy of karma, okay? And this is happening outside of you. So the Judgment card is a very serious card in that it asks you to take a look at the actions that you've taken. And I think in this case, you're also taking a look at the actions that someone else has taken. And you're asking yourself, you're putting all of the actions, you, this other person, you're putting them all on the table, and you're saying, okay, I don't like this one, I don't like that one, we'll keep this one. Like, you're taking inventory here of what has happened. Okay, you're looking at the transcript, okay, you're looking at the ledger, and you're saying, okay, am I fulfilled enough in my current situation to be able to get to the world, which is the card that comes next. And you're obviously not saying it like that, but you're saying like, okay, do I need to complete something here? And is there an action that I need to add, or are there actions that I need to throw out that are not working? In the external in the hopes and fears, you have this King of Cups. King of Cups is a good partner in your life. King and Queen of Cups can both be indicated as good partners in one's life. They are both people cards that, like for example, when you're in the presence of a King of Cups, you have a real sense of being heard. There's a real sense of you, of this person listening to you. The King of Cups is really about emotional maturity and emotional mastery, high emotional intelligence. And so like I said, it is sort of like, in your partnership, I feel like this is like things are going well, but there's this other situation that's not. I know this is very specific, but this is what I'm getting for this month. In the outcome, you have the Empress. So the Empress is a major energy of abundance, and it is the most abundant card. You can see all of the harvest here in the card, you can see the bushes here, the crops. Crops in tarot represent abundance. You can see the water flowing. You can see the clothing that they're wearing is nice. The trees, the stone here that has the Venus sign on it. This is an energy of abundance. There's a ton of abundance here. And the Empress can signify that you have everything that you need and more to bring something to life. It's fertility energy. And so it's also the mother archetype. And so I definitely like to see that for you here. So I'm like trying to decide how this fits in. But basically we have this mother-father energy here with this Emperor and this Empress. That could be a power couple. Like I said, I think you and your partner are strengthening. I also think that some of you are separating from your like your immediate like the family you were born into. There may be something going on there, or maybe a friendship, something like that. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 tarot cards here. So you have solar plexus, emotional loss, and you have spiritual strength. So the solar plexus is right above the navel, right in your like abdomen section. The solar plexus is your power center. It's where you derive self-worth as well, by the way. And it is, your strength in life. It's like yoga is very good for increasing your solar plexus, doing anything physical. Exercise, running, jogging, yoga, boxing, whatever, is very good for the solar plexus. But this is also just about your willpower, not just your physical strength, but your internal strength. And so I think some of you are maybe finding the strength to have an important conversation with somebody. Somebody hurt you here, I think maybe with emotional loss, and you have this spiritual strength card as well. So we have a lot of strength here showing up. And again, I think it's physical, I think it's emotional, I think it's mental strength, it's inner strength going on here. In the problem position, or not the problem position, in the 3 Kipper cards, you have community, main female, and concerned. Yeah, look, what did I say here? There's something about a feminine energy. Remember, this could be any gender. I don't attach genders, like I said probably already. So this could just be somebody who's a feminine, and there's a concern here that's going on. With these 2 queens, the main female, the concerned, and then you have this community, which is a group of people that you belong to, and perhaps your family. Or perhaps, a friend group. And there's something here that's playing out at this time. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.